We're being live streamed. So, all right. All right, here we go. Live stream. We're live. So
All right.
we got the first gen experience. This is your guys' place for information about the culture, business, and sports told through the first gen perspective. Right, here we go. This is the first gen experience. So I got myself and we got Eddie here. Eddie, say what's up.
Hey, how's it going?
We're super excited, man. We both been through a lot, and we're both in great positions. It's still building, but we got a lot that we can give back to you guys as other first gen students. No matter what age you're at and where you're at in your life. So this is a place for us to kind of come together. So how you doing, bro? How's the day going?
Good. Just got out of a lot of meetings, just did some posting here and there, just reaching out to some students I'm working with. So it's pretty good right now. So just living the first gen experience, kind of creating our own expectations and roles and just figuring out as we go.
Right. Figured it out as we go.
Yeah, man, we didn't have anybody to teach us kind of what we're providing, right? So everything's been trial and error. So I'm pretty stoked to be doing this to everybody here.
Yeah. And this is the first one because I used to call this the becoming a better student athlete, but I wanted to switch it up to really hit a full audience that I don't get to speak to a lot, and I think we can truly build a nice community around this. So, what I got a question. So, first one I got here is, what does it mean to be a first gen? So, what does that mean to you?
I think for me, just because we've been through a lot, so a lot of it is kind of like I said, go as we learn. So we're just like, right now we're like the first one, we're trying to figure it out, trying to break everything. Just like the shirt that you have broke the cycle, I have the one that you made too right there. So we're breaking the cycle, but we're also figuring everything out as we go. We have mentors, we have a lot of really cool people to help us, but nobody that's kind of been through this first experience that we're going through. So that's what to me it means. It's kind of like learning as we go, and then now sharing our information and our knowledge to everybody that's watching and is going to be watching, and part of the mentorship program that we help develop. So.
Yeah, and that's it. Breaking the cycle. I love I show this video a lot of the fleas where the fleas are in the jar, and then even when you take the jar up, the fleas still stay within the limits of the jar, even though the jar isn't even there. So they spend their life in that jar, they take it off, and they just stay within those limits. They never bounce out and realize like, oh, I can actually go anywhere, They stay within the jar. But that's kind of what first gen means to me. It's like you're just stuck in the same cycle and you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, because the people that came before you did the same thing over and over and over again. And something they say in that study is the flea's offspring actually do the same thing as well. So even the offspring they've never known a jar, but since their parents only knew those certain limits, they never think to venture off. So it's just a cycle that keeps going. So first gen, like we're in that jar until you get the mentors like us or different people that have been where you've been through and can show you and expose you to different things, so that way you can get to another level. That's kind of what it means to me, is like really you're just caught in that cycle, but it's up to you really to go seek out the information and expose yourself to that different information.
Right, and that study too is it's done with like bamboo plants, it's done with trees, with plants, with anything. If you keep it in the same pot, it's scientifically proven it's not going to get any bigger unless you put it in the ground and you let it grow. So over and over and over again until somebody takes you out and says, hey, you can actually do this and get pretty big.
Yeah, that's 1000%. So as we kind of keep going, guys, we are here. This is our first episode. Oh, I can't wait to be like a year or so in. Just look back at it.
Gonna look
But
back and oh yeah.
look, guys, we need you guys to subscribe to the Coach Woodson channel. We need you guys to like this, share this off to your friends, right? One of the biggest things I learned is you got to share the information. So make sure you like and you share this, because we're only going to just give you guys gems. We're only going to help you guys out with growing and just show us the support, for taking the time out, because it's not a lot of times you get people who've been there, done it, and it's like they're giving back. A lot of people, it's just like they get out and they're gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they're
they
not
don't come back.
really pass anything back. They're really only focused on them and theirs. So we're here to help you guys out no matter what stage you're in. If you're a student, you know, college, elementary, middle school, high school, you know, young adult. We're here to help you guys out, because there's different avenues of being a first gen. You know, you got business, you got the culture, you got, you know, wealth, you got just regular, just life. You know, there's a lot of different things that you're learning to just be successful within, and that's what we're here to do, is to try to give you some games. So let's get it. I got a question here. So we got, is it better to go to trade school or college? Because in the media today, it's like, man, you got college expenses are so expensive, you know, and we don't know what's happening really with the student loan information. You know, they got it, and whatever it is right now, but it's super expensive to go to college. Is it? And then you got AI that are taking a lot of jobs as well.
Right,
So
right.
like, what was it? AI. I read an article, it was saying that from the World Economic Forum, it estimated that 85 million jobs would be replaced by machines by 2025. So you got a lot of jobs that would go to Black and brown people that are actually going to be gone. So AI is taking that away, and it's here. It's not like it's, you know, coming. It's already here. I'm actually looking at implementing stuff in a couple of businesses myself, but
especially the
yeah,
chat recently. You've seen that.
exactly, the chat
Type of
GPT.
prompt.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, you can
Do
literally
art,
search stuff
do
up.
blogs.
I'm
I
telling
have a
you.
buddy right
So,
now. They're doing blogs, and she said that it got recommended, and it literally will do a blog for you. It could do poems. It could do. We've seen the artwork that it does. So I don't know. Part of it is with studying with colleges. Apart from changing most of the degrees, right? Certain arts, certain minor things, the jobs aren't going to be there anymore by the time you finish it. So that's where also, if you notice with trade schools right now, they're actually pretty low, and they're just trying to look for people because not a lot of people want to do that because there's so many avenues, right? You could be an influencer, you could be this, you could be so many things as well. So I personally believe we should start looking into a little bit of both, not just directly college, not directly universities, a little bit of everything, because some of the jobs that we're studying might get taken over by AI. And if we don't adapt, that's kind of what we thought of the internet, right? Everybody's like, oh my God, like fine. And then the internet came and it changed everything. And then YouTube came and then it changed everything. So that's something that if we can adapt, I don't think all the jobs will disappear and new jobs will come, right? We're like, oh God, what's going to happen with this? It's going to get eliminated. It happened. We're still here. So I think a little bit of both. But we definitely do need trades for a certain part because we are built on that as America. So we should give students the option to pick either or, not just you have to go to college because some no jobs. There's people with masters. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you've seen like on your resume, you need a master's, you need this, but it's the pay that they're offering is pretty low.
yeah.
There's people. I have people with masters working around me that are making the same, and I wasn't able to finish high school, but that kind of says a lot that it's based on discrimination in your work.
Right. Boom. And then it's like, because I do the real estate, so it's like we need contractors. Bro,
Yeah.
we need electricians and people that are handy, like the hand. I think because of the emphasis of us going to AI and going to more so, like, think about it. Everything is going to where humans aren't interacting with humans anymore. So I think the best thing you could do is learn trades and do things where you keep the human interaction, even though everything's going away from it. But it's like eventually it's going to reach a point where everyone is doing that and people are going to be missing the human interactions of things. So I'm like, go get a trade and everything and learn that kind of stuff, because that's going to be a huge demand. And it's like, bro, you go do that, you're literally making six figures in some of these
They make a lot right now. Like I
Yeah.
was talking to an elevator technician, he was making 38 an hour. Like that's nurses get around 35 starting off, so it's pretty similar. Electricians, I have a buddy that's making 200,000. So they're just in such high demand, they can kind of call their prices because nobody else is going to come and do it.
Exactly.
And I think that was looked, I don't know, when I was growing up, it wasn't looked the same. They're like, oh, you don't want to be a plumber, you don't want to be an electrician, you want to go to college and be a doctor. And then now that I'm an adult, I was like, they make pretty similar amounts. And I have buddies just living their best life right now that are all tradesmen, and they're up there, construction, plumbers, electricians, and some of them at the time were making more than me. And they just got into it, you know?
Yeah, y'all might need to go into that electrician school, man, and figure it out.
Yeah, it's definitely we need to change that it doesn't get looked down upon, because like I said, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to be that, you know.
I told my little brother to get his inspector license. I
Oh
was
yeah,
like, oh, you might as well, like, especially if you don't know what you truly want to do. Like, if you know what you want to do, like, I'm going to be a doctor, lawyer. All right, go ahead, go do what you need to do. But if you're like on a board and you're just like, I don't know, it's like, bro, save your money, because you're gonna take a $20,000 loan out
right.
for a year. So it's like, save your money, go get the trade. And then if you're missing the college experience, just go up and visit during events.
Yeah,
So become a super fan. You don't need to go there.
oh yeah, especially with all the sports popping up and everything. That's a pretty big thing.
So we got trade. So it really depends where you're at.
Oh yeah.
Cool. So, well, right now let's tell the people about you. So everyone kind of knows about me a little bit. I mean, we went a little bit to my story, and we'll kind of go as we do more episodes and everything. But tell everyone who Eddie is, where you from. We actually go way back.
Yeah, we straight. I want to say middle school, or
yeah, like middle school.
Yeah, so I was born in Mexico, immigrated here, seeking a better life, asylum, legal stuff, just didn't have the best childhood. So we came over here. So, now we're luckily resident, going to citizenship. Everything worked out well. I've been working with the Office of Refugee Resettlements, working for the government the last 6 years now, so full time, kind of helping out. But in the meantime, I always did youth sports, coaching, because I grew up playing soccer, so that's been my thing, sports. And I was only able to do a little bit of it because, as we both know, it's too expensive. My mom could only afford 1 year, and after that, we couldn't afford $1,000 a year just for me to go play soccer. And then it also wasn't viewed as a career or certain things, and you need to work. And sports, at the time, especially growing up, it wasn't as important. But now I realized it's kind of what helped me where I am, because of the disciplines that I learned. So I always stayed connected with sports, teaching whenever I could, coaching on the side, helping kids out. And then now just really transitioning with you and continuing to do that mentorship program as we expand, especially as we know, me, myself being Mexican American, seeing all the need that we have, and not a lot of people wanting to come back, that where we're at right now, they don't want to come back and kind of dive into the community, and then also in Spanish. So from not seen my own kids, because I have kids, I asked around, I was like, hey, do you guys have this? Who can they reach out to? They have a counselor maybe, but the counselor is kind of overwhelmed because it's 1 to 2 counselors for every school. They have to be some after school sports programs, but not as intense. And they're mainly focused on one thing, right? They're too big. So we don't have that. Hey, I need somebody to come in and coach our elementary, our 5th grade, our 2nd grade, our middle schoolers that are where you used to be. And that's kind of why we're growing. So I've kind of been a little bit of everywhere, but now I really want to focus on giving back to who we needed when we were younger, because I feel like that would have saved me a lot of hardships and avoided some pretty bad decisions if I would have had somebody be like, hey man, I was where you were at. I'm an immigrant. I'm Mexican. I speak Spanish. I did this. I dropped out, but this is what you should do.
Right.
that's kind of where we're at right now, and why I think what we're doing is very important, and people need to be representation matters. And I don't know how many people you've seen. I haven't seen many Mexicans, to be honest, or Latinos like come up to me and be like, "Hey, man, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm doing." And for you, I'm pretty sure be like, "Oh shoot, this dude is killing it." So I don't know if you've had that happen to you at all recently, because that made my day whenever I see that, like, "Oh my God, you're Mexican," and "Oh hey, like you speak Spanish like me," and you're this person. So I don't know if that's happened to you or why, but that's a little bit about me and my story. Kind of a short summary.
Oh yes. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, so true. I can't wait. Because it's just so needed that, where kids are seeing people that look like them inside of their, schools that are actually, have been there, done it, and can really be kind of a role model to them in their times that and things that they're going through. So
Apart from a celebrity, right? Because like
yeah,
I've seen people,
right.
like in a positive influence, be like, "Oh man, this dude's like a rapper, this dude's like, you know,
Yeah,
how many entrepreneurs do you know, or how many directors do you know, like actually know that are, Mexican, or going around to schools, going back. I remember ET, if you've seen it, he gave that speech to the school. He's like, how many people come back and actually give you something? How many people genuinely care for you and are
right.
back and showing you that love. Some people are here and just take your money, or you look up to. So we also want to provide that, like, hey, if you don't want to do any of this, you don't have to be just a basketball player. You don't have to be just a soccer player because you're Mexican. Or you don't have to be certain stereotypes. You can also be a director. You can also do what I do. So just
Yeah.
providing that.
Yeah. I ask the kids that all the time too. I'm like, who's your favorite rapper? Oh, blah blah blah. Who's your favorite athlete? Oh, blah blah blah. I'm like, have you seen them here? I was like, you
Yeah,
can't get tickets to the game. But
right.
so I'm like, yeah, it's super important, to just be out there more. So that's what's up. That's what's up. Um, so what do we got here next? What do we got? We doing good. I need everybody to just, if you're seeing this video, you get this link. I need y'all to like and share. Like and share and
Oh
subscribe.
yeah.
Please and thank you. If you've seen this, you've seen some gems, like, share, and subscribe so we can keep doing it for you.
Oh yeah. It's about to, especially as we get better, we get more things. It's only
Yeah,
up from here.
it's going down. Um, what do we got next here? So we got who? What is this? Ja Morant in the news.
Yep.
So for all of our athletes, this is a good segment for you to pay attention to. Um,
Mhm.
Ja Morant has been in the news. He's right now away from the team for an undetermined amount of time. That has a full NBA investigation going down. Guess he was um, accused of having a gun in a club and showing it, or I guess. So they got a whole investigation on him on top of, I guess, numerous other things that was kind of going on leading up to this. So
Mhm.
basically, they're doing a full um look under the hood here, So um I think it's just crazy because it's like, man, how do you everyone always says it's like, how do you do that? The dude's worth $200 million, star
Right.
player, all-star. I think he made the all-star, right? Um,
Oof. I'd have to check
can't
right
remember, but definitely all-star level player. Uh, Teams in the race to make the playoffs, and it's like how it's easy for someone to say like, man, if I was there, I wouldn't be, But a lot of things I speak about is dealing with stuff before you get what you want. So one of the
now.
messages I have actually for tomorrow, I'm speaking. It's like you become no, you get what you want, you attain what you want when you become it, right? So one of the things that you got to do is you actually got to become the person that can attain the goal and the stuff and the success that you want. So you don't want to just go get the goal. You want to be able to become the person that can keep it. Because a lot of the times that happens is you build up with one hand, you tear down with the other, and you'll get everything that you want, but your character and who you are as a person isn't living up to what you have. So then everything just catches up, and then boom, that's how people lose it all. So, I think we lost Eddie here. He said too much heat. He said his camera heated up. Too much heat. We've been spending too much game as we kind of wait for him to come back in. But listen, guys, yeah, the Ja Morant stuff, that's kind of my take on it, is really just making sure that you are ready to get what you want. So, if your goal is to be in an NBA, your goal is to, have a certain goal, then you got to make sure that your behaviors are lining up to that. So the things that you think, oh, here he goes. He's back in now. Let's see here. He said too much heat, huh?
Too much heat.
Thing just shut off. But I was saying, what I'm speaking on tomorrow is basically everyone has the goal, but it's important that you live up to what that goal is. So you actually become the person that can achieve the goal before you ever achieve it. What I'm saying? And it's important it happens in that manner, because the character that you have at like day one today needs to be completely different than the character that you need to have when you accomplish that big goal that you have, right? Because a lot of kids want to make it to the NBA, and it's like, man, your grades aren't even good.
Right.
You won't even be able to be on the team. So you need to fix your character and stuff right there before you can even accomplish that goal. And in cases as far as Ja Morant, it's like, dude, you're in a superstar level status, but you're doing things that high schoolers need to be fixed up in high school. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't want to be in a position where you're building up, and then you get everything, and then you tear it down with the other. So it's like, it's always making sure that you're always doing the inner work as you're building up to it. Like, you want to be already the person that can keep it, rather than getting there and then losing it all. So
and then your circle too, because I know just me and you, like how much we talk, and what we happened, because a lot of it, they said he was with his friends, he was with his entourage, he was with people all the time, and maybe it wasn't him, but it was those around him. So even as you level up, and now he's in the NBA, maybe he's still hanging around with the same people where that character was being developed in a certain way, and maybe he's there and they're just like, oh, he's in the NBA now, let's do this, let's do that, right? So like a lot of the quotes are like, who you hang around with is who you become, and that's who a lot of people keep bringing them down. So even just me and you, we talk about certain things, right? And we both know we had to stop talking to a lot of people that we grew up with in high school, because they're not doing what we want to do. And as much as I love them, they're very fun, it's really cool. It's like, hey man, I want to do this now. I want to help people, but I can't be this person anymore because my character has to change. And for some people, maybe like Ja Morant, like maybe it's hard. He's like, man, I grew up with y'all, but now I made it. So now let's party, let's go do this, right? But like they're saying, if there's been people that have been suspended before from the NBA just for like, I remember one took a gun to a locker a long time ago, and he just indefinitely got suspended. And because then, okay, we have more people, so it's just, apart from your character, it's also your friends. It's really hard. Like we've said, we love some of these people, but we had to be like, hey man, I can't talk to you anymore because you're still where I used to be, and I don't want to be there anymore. I think
1,000%. That inner circle is crucial. I wish I had something to draw with, but it's like, the way I kind of did it was, you have an inner circle of friends and people that are like closest to you, meaning these are the people they text. You're like right on answer. They call, you always answer. Like these are your inner circle people, right? And then you have like an outer circle, like another ring of a outside, and those people don't have immediate access to you. You might see them every now and then. It's like but it's kind of like you're saying, there's no resentment or anything to people, but just, you got to start categorizing what circle these people are in, and then outside of these circles, every layer that you get, it's like less and less access, and then less and less things that are around you. You know what I'm saying? You got to kind of pick and choose the people that has the same values as you. And
Right.
then what I realized is I didn't have my own like family values that we had and we lived by. And it's like you can't it's hard for you to judge, and not even judge, but it's hard for you to select your inner circles and your circles of influence until you have your own values, because then you're just
Right.
letting go everywhere and there's nothing that you're grading or judging people on, so it's like that was what really helped me out with being able, like, okay, these are the people that are in the inner, boom, they super align. Then we got an outer, right? I'll see them every now and then, that kind of thing, passing by. You have an outer besides that, and that's just like rare kind of occasions, that kind of thing. But it's like you got to kind of just your circle of influence is super important. Definitely.
Yeah, so if somebody listening or watching to this, that'd be a good exercise to do right now is maybe you're going to go to college, maybe you're going to go to high school, maybe you're going to get a new job. So take that time and write down and be like, all right, let me look at my circle really quick. And, like you said, there's nothing bad against anybody. But sometimes we're hanging on to people because we're scared of being alone, right? Fear of success, maybe fear of failure. But if we have those people still coming back and bringing you back to be like, hey man, remember in high school or remember this? You replay it, you'll never grow, and I think that's worse.
And sometimes you need to pay to get into new circles.
Yeah.
I hear all the time, like, well, I don't have people that are close to me that really resemble. You might have to just pay to get into a new environment.
Right. How much did you know how much you paid? I paid $5,000 last year to get mentorship and just learning. I calculated the year before I spent about 8,000 just going out, hanging out, clubbing, right?
Oh wow.
It seemed expensive to me, and I was like,
yeah.
I realized it, and I'm like, why am I not paying to get mentored instead? And now that's how I've met a lot of people, as I mentioned, and nobody around me understands me besides maybe you and other people. So I started to reach out, and it was uncomfortable and it was horrible, but now I'm like, dang.
Yeah. Now you got a good service. So it's like, yeah, you got to pay. Sometimes you got to pay. If you don't got people around you, then sometimes you just got to pay and get around the right people, that aligns with what you're trying to do. That either people that are already doing it or people that are on the path or on the way. Because it's like you got to get away from the people that are stagnant, that aren't in motion. So I like to say it's like we gotta align with people that are in motion and moving towards something, because those people, time is limited. The only difference between you achieving everything that you want is the time to get to it. And you need to align with people that are in motion and on that timeline to get to where they want to get to, because it's like once you're in motion, your time is limited. You already know. It's like I can't do all the extra stuff all the time. It's like I have to be, it has to be very calculated, so that's super important. Didn't even mean to go there, but maybe we can talk more about that next time. So look, you guys, this is the first gen experience. This is a show just for you guys, for all of our first gen people out there. I mean, the kids, adults. If you're a first generation, this is the show for you. You got two people that have been there, done it. We're both building businesses, both building wealth. Both very tapped in with the culture and everything, giving back. This is just what we do. These are basically conversations we have. We're just literally just you guys.
We're just sharing it this time.
And it's, you guys are getting a lot out of it too. So share this, like this, subscribe. We will be back. We're doing this every 2 weeks, so twice a month. We'll be doing this for sure. This is our first episode, so if you're seeing this is number 1, and then we'll keep it going. But
yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all. You got any last words?
I'd really focus on what you said about the inner circle. That's something maybe we can goal. If the next one, I want to do goal setting right at some point. So that'll be something, if you haven't thought about it, is just we'll start talking about goals. But right now, the circle one is a pretty important one. If you haven't done that or even thought about seeing who's in your circle, who's not in your circle, I would start with that.
Oh yeah, love it. We're getting bigger.